Church choirs are a staple of Sunday mornings and festive events for many of us. I suppose we've all enjoyed them over Christmas. But recent years have seen numbers dwindling. Research shows that 57% of local church choirs currently have no children at all. But now a new project is aiming to address the situation by establishing more than 200 church choirs for children and young people. It's in partnership between the Church of England and the Royal School of Church Music, the RSCM. I'm pleased to say I'm joined now by Dr. Paul Hedley, who is Deputy Director of RSCM. Good afternoon to you, Paul.
Hello, Mal. It's very nice to be here.
Now, this is sort of sad news, isn't it? Why are church choirs suffering from lack of kids?
I think there are lots of reasons over the past 20 years and indeed over the past 5 years, pre and post-COVID, that young people have been less keen and not really incentivized to join church choirs. There have been lots of challenges in actually making things happen and lots of other calls on young people's time. I think choices have shifted, family situations have shifted, and we've ended up in a situation where right now, lots of children don't choose or don't have the choice to do choral singing as part of that church experience. I think the other significant part here over recent years is the lack of any sort of music provision in primary school. That was a classic pathway in the past where the standard of singing hymns in primary school was the thing that you did at morning assembly. That's just not the case now in the state sector at all. And often there are no music specialists and no music provision to enable that sort of live singing. And if you don't encounter live singing and live music at a young age, why would you think that you could go to your local church and sing? So I think there's a combination of lots of different factors here.
Cathedral choirs, because obviously we've seen all the big Christmas carol services from all cathedrals all around the country. Are they suffering as well?
They have been, but over recent years, cathedrals have invested very heavily in outreach programs and in connection to try to ensure that they can maintain their front rows from various different sources. There's been a big move across lots of cathedrals, most cathedrals in the land in the past 10 years, to engage girls as well as boys. And that's been a really positive thing. Lots of those outreach programs have been successful and are maintaining front rows and young people singing in cathedral choirs. Unfortunately, that focus has not taken away from it, but it has meant that if you are already engaged in high-level music or interested in it, that's where you would go. The connection that we're missing is the connection into the young people who haven't had that initial introduction to singing together, to singing in a choir, and might then be unaware of the possibility, or indeed unaware of even the potential of singing in a school choir, in a church choir, during worship.
Okay, how are you going to do it then? You've got a plan for 200 church choirs for children and young people. How do you do it?
Right, there are several elements of focus in the project here. One of the big ones is, of course, training. Now, we know that key people need to be leading this whole area of activity. Without the leaders, we can't actually make this happen at all. So those might be existing directors of music. They might be volunteers in a church. They might be incumbents. All of them need to feel that this is worthwhile. It is a way in for young people into their church. And this is clearly about a pathway to discipleship and faith. It's not just about come and sing and get something out of singing, though there's huge amounts of benefit, as we have all experienced, those of us who've sung in choirs, for doing that collective thing of singing together. That's one part of your musical training, of your training as a young person. The other key element here in terms of the space of singing in church is about opening the portal to young people into that pathway towards faith. There are so many stories of clergy, for example, whose first encounter with Christian faith was through singing in the choir, who then ended up, actually, this is something really important to me, and have become chosen to take that pathway towards ordination. There are so many other adults who, again, started in that church choir situation and now are worshipping members of the church as adults. One of the interesting things that's happened since we launched this project, since it became visible, we've had quite a lot of emails in from outside people, many of whom have no direct connection with us right now, saying, this is really interesting. My first encounter was in a church choir, and this is what I'm now doing, or indeed, and I'd like to be involved in this to help, because I recognize that it was of huge value to me when I was a child.
And I mean, what is it like? Tell us what it's like, Paul, to sing in a heavenly choir in church.
It's extraordinary. There is something transformational for singers, particularly young children, about the collective nature of choral singing. It isn't just me singing something on my own. There's a meeting of other people, whether those are friends that we know or friends that we don't know yet. There's a key part here about working with people that we don't necessarily understand or know very well. Many church choirs have, those that have children will have children singing the top line, the treble line, and will then have other singers, adults mostly, who are singing the other parts. Now, where else do those young children get to interact with and work with other people of completely different walks of life? So this is integration potential in terms of being aware of how other people think, how other people's Christian faith has developed, not just by talking to the priest, but by talking to other people who they're singing with, as well as singing with peers, with their other children, other friends. As I say, friends who they haven't met yet. There's so much collective potential in those front rows to grow individually, to grow as an individual, as a leader, as a member of society, as well as to grow as a Christian.
Where's the money going to come from, Paul?
We are very fortunate to be partnering with the Church of England on this project. So there's a significant amount of funding, about £400,000 over the next 3 years, coming from the Church of England to help towards establishing the training routes, the means of delivery, and to build this potential pathway. As you mentioned at the top of the programme, Mal, we're aiming here for 200 new choirs over the course of the next 3 years. We know that many children's choirs or choirs that used to have children currently don't have children at all. There are many churches that used to have a choir that don't have a choir at all now. That's what we're aiming to revitalise here.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you well. If people are listening to this and they want to support the work, either financially or think that's something that was really important to me as I was growing up and they want to get involved, where should we direct them, Paul?
Please do contact us. We are the RSCM, that's rscm.org.uk, or you can email us on choirproject@rscm.com.